Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another Epic 7 video. Today we're going to talk about my last video actually and kind of expand on it. I am okay with people disagreeing with what I say. I'm super okay with it. I have my own opinions. You guys have your own opinions. It's all good. What I'm not really okay with is my comment section being flooded with what I consider to be super incorrect information. And I just want to try to clear that out for people here, because I feel like the comment section in the last video was definitely flooded with stuff I super don't agree with and I think is super incredibly wrong. So let's go through some. This one here has 19 likes and he says, I agree with this video, but for a free-to-play player, I would never suggest to use Skystones to refill energy. I super don't agree with that. Endry-san also says, I disagree with the stamina recharge. Do not agree with that whatsoever too. I also really don't agree with this. Guys, you're free to play. Don't use Skystones for energy, just don't. Really don't agree with that at all. There's a bunch of things in here that have the same thing. Honestly, some of them were so crude, it just got auto-blocked by YouTube. I didn't hide any comments. I never hide comments, but YouTube sometimes catches stuff, and a lot of them were that bad, so there's a lot of that there. So I just want to kind of clear that out with you guys and hopefully give you guys a better idea of why I say things like that and a better idea of why I think it's a good idea to be refreshing. So to preface things here, I just want to say this is not for people who can only play half an hour a day. Obviously, if you only play half an hour a day, you don't need to refresh your sky shards, right? Like, you don't need to. But if you're somebody like me, you are able to play at work, you are able to play while you're watching TV, anything like that. If you're able to play and actively enjoy playing, this is more for you, for that style of person. It's also especially for free-to-play players. I think this is more important for free-to-play players than pay-to-win players. I think the biggest investment in this game that gives you the biggest boost is time spent. I also feel like unless you whale, and I do mean whale, I don't mean what I've spent, by the way, which we'll get into in a second. I do mean hardcore whale, as in high 4 to 5 digits. You're not really going to get too much of an advantage in this game versus somebody who spends a ton of time playing it. I've spent, let's go through what I've spent first. I've spent a little bit, and I don't think I am too much further ahead as I would be if I was free to play. I would probably be in basically the exact same position. I may have one less hero, but that's about it. And the one less hero would be Dienne, I think, and I don't use Dienne. Not that she's not insane, I just haven't really used her for any of the content yet. So let's go through first what I haven't bought. So I haven't bought these special packs yet, the special pack 1 and 2. That said, I'm 95% chance going to buy these. I really like buying limited packs because I want them to come back. I really like supporting devs as well. And I really like just fun packs like this that get a little bit of everything. The fun ones are what really gets me interested. What I don't like is power packs, and this is what I consider a power pack. 9 Mulagora, all sorts of stuff like this. I will not buy this one. I don't like supporting packs like this, so I won't do it. I didn't buy the last one either. I do buy monthly packs. I love monthly packs because they're just great value, and I'm all about value. I'm all about getting the most out of my money, most out of my playtime. And both of these are fantastic. I don't know if this one's as good, but it does have 5% gold XP, which does add up, or gold drops. But I do like this one better just because it's cheaper, but I did buy them both. I've also never purchased a monthly summon pack, I've never purchased a gold pack, I've never purchased a leave pack, and I've never purchased the nurture pack. So what I have bought here are 2 rank up packs. I bought this for 3,000 sky shards. I think it's pretty solid value. I also really like once per account packs, which is why I bought these. And I bought this one too, the rank up 2 pack, which was 3,200 sky shards and then 5 galaxy bookmarks, which I promptly decided to get MRSA from, so RIP there. So that's it. That's all I bought. I've bought this pack, and The monthly packs. That is literally it. Oh, no, that's not it. I did buy like the $3 pack at the start of the game that you only get one of. So a lot of people call me a whale, and I don't know where they get that idea. I'm really not. I've spent far less than a lot of my viewers, especially on Twitch, far less than a lot of people. So super keep that in mind. And one thing to note too is while I have 8,768 Skystones right now, I had 10,000 yesterday or something. If I was free to play, I would be at around 0 right now. So I'd be pretty much broke for Sky Shards, but I would be at about 0. So everything I've bought right now on this account is basically just sitting in the account and hasn't been used yet. So just keep that in mind. Another thing I want to say is when I make a guide for YouTube, when I make a guide for you guys, I don't consider it from a whale's perspective. I don't consider it from a pay-to-win player's perspective. I consider it from primarily a free-to-play player's perspective. So anything I say is almost always geared towards free-to-play players. Sometimes I'll slip up and forget things, like I've done that before with Dragalia Lost or Fire Emblem Heroes, for example. I screwed up a little and said something wrong, but I'll try to correct myself if I do. But in general, everything I say is towards free-to-play players. So one thing I want you guys to look at, every single one of you, and I'd like to see in the comments below too, is what your reputation things are at. So we have a couple sort of milestones, I would guess you would call them, that we can track through here, which is really nice. We can see how much gold I've spent. I've spent 8,300, or not spent, I've had 83 million gold here. I've also acquired 11,511 Brave Crests. That's not the one I meant. I've also acquired 9,600 Conquest Points. I have the hiccups again. I always get the hiccups while I do this. I've never refreshed my PvP tokens, so you should be around this. I would guess you should be more, but I'm at 9,600 right now, and I auto my PvP, to be honest, and I drop my rankings, so I've also consumed 43,000 energy at this point, and in all honesty, had I not been streaming, I would probably be at around 70,000 right now, just because I consume energy slower on stream, because it's usually less exciting to do the things that are repeatable on stream, so I try to do stuff that's more fun. Yeah, those are things I would like to see in the comments below, how much of all of that you spent. So obviously, the more time you play, the more you're going to get those up, outside of the gold one where you can buy gold, but that is super whale territory. So let's talk about why I think you should spend your Sky Shards on stamina instead of anything else. First things first is, if you're not spending your Sky Shards on stamina, you're absolutely just going to buy all these bookmark bundles. The first thing is, I don't think these are good value whatsoever. I think there's much better value out there. And unless you're just looking for that hit, and you know what hit I'm talking about, I will not ever buy these. The best way to go about getting Covenant bookmarks right now is, assuming you're level 50 plus, and you would be if you're refreshing your stamina and can play a decent amount, to upgrade your shop to the best place is just refreshing your shop for a mix of T6 gears, which you should get a decent amount of, to super increase the power level of your account, and also Covenant bookmarks. On average, you will get more Covenant bookmarks, more summons for your 950 gems than you will in other places. And obviously, you're going to need the gold for this. So this is why a mix of refreshing the shop and refreshing your stamina with your Sky Shards is super recommended for me. It's just because they go very well together, and it helps you keep a balance, because once you run out of gold, you know it's time to stop refreshing, and you just go back to refreshing stamina. And then you always should have a little bit of space to try to summon if you really want to when a limited banner or something like that comes out. Another thing is I want to clear up is you are not getting the limited heroes as a free-to-play player. It's just not going to happen unless you're incredibly lucky. Spending your stamina on refreshes, like maybe you'll get one every 4 months or something like that, or 3 months, but you're not going to get too many limited units as a free-to-play player. That's just something you've got to live with in this game. But luckily for you, there's people like Falconer Clury and Lorena and Yuna to use, so don't worry about that. So as for Leifs, that's another question I get here, and that is, should I use Leifs or Sky Shards for refreshing my stamina? And honestly, from my perspective, I don't like using Leifs for energy, and the reason is you never know what Leifs are going to get in the future. Like, I would consider lab tokens last week or the week before to be not that great to buy, but now I'm buying them basically every day because they upgraded, in quotes, the lab, and I'm having more fun with it. We never really know what's coming with Leifs. There might be things more later that get added. Labs might get much better too. You never know. So this is why I don't personally use my Leifs for energy, but I would never fault somebody who does, because I do think it is a valuable and great option. I also will never buy this Abyss ticket. I don't think it's worth it. I think you're going to hit a wall and you'll be stopped by power level, especially, again, if you don't refresh with Sky Shards. So I would not buy that. I would only buy energy or lab compasses or just nothing right now. And I absolutely do use my Skystones over Leifs, but that's because I know for sure my Skystones are going for stamina. I don't know for sure these are going for stamina yet. So that's my thoughts on that for the most part. Honestly, there's not really much else I can say at this point. If you're not convinced, you're not convinced. There's only so much I can do. I just wanted to kind of clarify things, show you guys my account, show you what I've spent, show you what bonuses I've gotten, show you why I do certain things, and just kind of explain the situation I'm in and try to get all the information out to you guys. And just as a side note, I just want to reinforce how important time spent is on this game. It's the most important factor, I think. I don't even really consider whales in this game because they're so few and far between. And when I say whales, I mean people that spend close to 5 digits at this point. That's where you're going to notice a pretty big power level boost in those, but you won't really see those too often because they're in the top of the arenas at the start of the game. But the longer we play this game, the closer the free-to-play players will get to those pay-to-win players. So super don't worry about that. It's not something you should even consider. Whenever you've run into a problem, don't blame it on whales. Don't blame it on being free to play. Don't use that as a crutch. Figure out where else you can improve your gameplay, where you can improve your strategy, improve your efficiency, and work towards it that way. Honestly, if I had the time, I would play a completely free to play account just to show you guys where I would be. Because in all honesty here, I could be using Clury, Lorena, and Yuna as the base of my team, and then hopefully Hazel once the specialty comes out, and get pretty much everything I've gotten done. And another thing to note is, let's say we have one account that is super free to play and uses their Sky Shards to refresh, and another account that just summons. In a couple months down the line, the account that uses to refresh is going to slaughter the one that doesn't, and they would slaughter them with Raz and Mercedes and a slime instead of their 5-star units. So just super keep that in mind. Anyways, that's about all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, if you want me to expand on anything. This is obviously a touchy subject, and especially this close to Christmas, I just want to be happy, and I want people to be happy. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything whatsoever, if you're one of those people who are super against refreshing your Sky Shards with stamina, let's have a conversation. And I do mean a conversation, not a yelling match. And I would love to talk with you about it and maybe try to convince you, or you can maybe try to convince me, whatever way works. So yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much.